Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play SaGa 2, Goddess of Destiny. Last time around we were imprisoned here in the Guardians base, but we were let free due to our connection to the kernel of the Guardians. So until we find out what to do next, we're just going to be wandering around this place. And let's talk to some of the locals. Intelligence suggests the new god's spies are searching for the location of this secret base. Alright, so it seems even the Guardians are worried about Apollo, the new god, and what he might be doing with all that power of his. Oh, alright. Looks like we can't go any higher for the time being. Though we've been released from our cell, seems that we're still confined to the Guardians base until they're able to decide what to do with us. Oh, you sure do take after the Colonel. You seem to have grown up quickly. What is he implying? We grew up over the course of a fade to black at the very start of the game. Yeah, the Guardians base reminds me in appearance quite a lot of Ashura's base back on World 1. I wonder how much of the graphics are reused from that. It's kind of hard to remember though, so long ago. The new gods, Ashura, Apollo, Venus, Odin. If we don't keep an eye on them... Oh, he just trailed off there. Okay, I was having difficulty parsing that sentence at first, and that's because it was not a complete sentence. They have some pretty sophisticated looking computers here. Looks like some 1999 models, perhaps. And okay, looks like there's a room over here. Is this just the stairs? No, it's not. Okay. We have two people hanging out in this room. The sky pillars in each world are becoming unstable. Maybe the worlds are falling apart. Okay, so that ties into that side quest we had with the meteor fragment. We're fighting to protect the worlds. That's why we're researching the relics and the worlds here. Alright, so this is sort of a shadow organization, keeping everyone safe and in one piece, I suppose. Keeping even the substance of the worlds together. I wonder how they are performing that research. Anyway, what do we have in here? Looks like this is the only way left to progress. The balance of the world. The balance of the world is affected when people misuse the power of the relics. Worlds will start to collapse. That power is very dangerous. Alright, so perhaps a little bit more editing would have been helpful in this dialogue. The ancient gods were a race of people who built a super civilization long ago. They couldn't control their own power and perished. Good to hear a little bit about the ancient gods. There's a location in the game named after them. You don't hear a lot about the ancient gods. Like, we're left to assume that they were the original possessors of the power that would become the relics, because the relics are the power by which the new gods have been born. But the Colonel is our leader and expert at finding hidden treasures. So far he's recovered stuff like the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, and the 4 crystals. So a sort of straight up reference to the hero's father's resemblance to Indiana Jones there. Special item storage, no entry. I want the special items though. Let me in. Alright, looks like this is the only path left to explore. So I imagine we'll be finding the Colonel here. Maybe he can explain what's going on. Hello, Father. Good to see you again. You must be tired. Rest here today. What, that's it? I mean, Elodie was pretty mad at him when we saw him back in Linstown. I can't really imagine her just letting him walk off like that, but I guess that's what's happening. Whoa, it's another earthquake like the one we had up above in the town. Dang, it's not stopping though. What's that noise? Alright, so, no, we just rested, actually. No need to rest again. Oh, who's this? He wasn't in here before. The shops were destroyed. Did you want to buy something from me? Oh, okay. This is the, this is the guy from the weapons store up above. He has the exact same stock he had before, and we haven't gotten any money since before, so I'm gonna have to pass on that. And we have monsters here in the Guardians base now, so let's get into combat with one of those and see what it is. We have a clay golem. It looks a little bit green for clay. And we have the Staff of Healing equipped previously. Let's take a look at that. Speaking of Indiana Jones, alright, we're just going to be using Blizzard here on this clay golem. I imagine that fire might actually be effective against him. Let's see, so like, if you heat clay, it hardens, but I'm not sure if that's actually a good or a bad thing. Let's conserve the flame and just use a Blizzard here. And speaking of conservation, I think these punches are getting low enough that I should really be sticking with the triple lunge there from Zenith. And regular stuff from the other two, because they don't have to worry about conserving anything. Alright, so let's see how powerful this clay golem is. Not powerful at all, it turns out. So for being a dungeon encounter, that one went pretty quickly. Let's see if future encounters here are just as straightforward. This looks like a different type of enemy, a flying one. We have a single beetle. All right. Let's see if the beetle is any more challenging. Oh, it's a robot. Okay. I was expecting an insect from the name, but then again, it doesn't really make sense that the insect would be flying. I guess they're flying beetles, but you don't typically think of them as a flying insect. Let's see, weak to ice maybe? Nope, but there's still enough damage. And a spirit increase for Elodie. Those come by so rarely that it's wonderful to see that. Another max HP increase for Zenith, bringing him up to 301. The first of our non-robot characters to break the 300. Oh, and sweet, we got a submachine gun. Okay. So I'm gonna have to keep in mind that I have that. Let's check out Natsmer's equipment right now. I'm curious how many uses her current submachine gun has left. Only 8, so might be making the switch out there in the near future. I should keep in mind that she has a high potion too. This can actually be replaced with something if I ever obtain something more useful than that, because I don't tend to remember that I have healing items equipped to my party, mostly because that's currently the only one. Let's see if we can get into the special items section now. It appears that we can. Ooh, fantastic. It's swarming with monsters though. But let's hope that I can actually carry all the things in here. And if they're all empty, that shouldn't actually be difficult at all. Oh man, I was really hoping to get something cool in here. They had the sign, it built up my hopes. They said special items. Ooh, here's something. A relic, maybe? Yeah, relic world tree leaf. Alright. Map ability energy acquired, but before I can find out what that is, I'm in an encounter with 2 separate enemies. I'm not sure how one of those groups even got to me. It was clearly on the other side of the treasure chest. But no matter. We have several groups of enemies, so I'm going to start out with either a poison fog or a flame from Elodie. I'm thinking a flame because the poison is probably ineffective against that robot opponent, the Z. Alright, so let's go ahead and... Actually, I wanted to test something out. Can you target someone with a counterattack other than the user? No, you can't. Okay, that's interesting. It gives you this like targeting screen for confirmation, but you can only target yourself with it. So if Elodie happens to die in this fight, I might have Zenith switch to the cross counter, but there's no need to do that at the moment. I'm just going to have him fight, let's say, the Bee-Woman. And then Natsmer, though we did just get a new submachine gun. Using a submachine gun in this fight will not be useful since we have a diverse group of opponents. And we'll pit robot against robot, which is something I'm fond of doing. So, and have Virtue go after the Z. Okay, none of these enemies, ooh, I was gonna say, are independently that powerful, except that one just dealt 100 damage, which puts Elodie in a precarious position. But fortunately, the enemies are not cooperating with one another very well, spreading their attacks out to Zenith as well as Elodie, and also attempting to put my robot to sleep, which has never been something that's worked in the past. Dang, okay, one hit takes out the Z, and wow, I actually won that thing in one round. That's somewhat impressive, but I guess it's mostly just luck on my part. Get 700 Kuro and 23 MP. And let's check out the last chest in this room, but first I should probably heal in case I encounter that last opponent on the way. And while I'm here in the menu, I might as well check out that new map ability, Energy. Let's see what that does. I wonder if it just identifies... Actually, let's go ahead and check. Allows you to recover HP and status at energy points. Okay, so I heard a little bit about energy points back in Port Town, but I'm not sure that I've seen one. Like, there was that healing point inside the submarine volcano, but I'm not sure if that was actually an energy point or just some, like, similar place that was in the submarine volcano. Anyway, we have a Z, a Bee-Woman, and a Thunderbird, so another group similar to the last one we fought. Let's see if this one goes by just as quickly. Spread out our single targeting character's attacks and have Elodie go for the flame. Hopefully they don't all go for Elodie here. Actually, I just hit the X button by reflex there, but I'm not sure that it's actually necessary, particularly with Virtue targeting that Bee-Woman. Yeah, that was a little bit unnecessary of me, but I got so excited. I have all of these threads that I just bought the last time I was at the Castle of Fate, and I kind of want to use them. They're burning a hole in my pocket, so to speak. Anyway, let's go ahead and take out this Z. Should not be hard at all, considering how quickly the last one went down. And there it goes. We get a max HP increase for Elodie. Very, very welcome addition there. Now up to 233 for her. And we get about 500 Kuro and a couple of MP. Still not sure where Yuder's MP comes from exactly, but I'm happy to have it, even though it isn't quite as much as I have come to expect from, what's her name? Repsira. Alright, now might be a good time to try out the Staff of Healing, since no one is particularly injured, but we do have some HP down from several of our characters. Let's go ahead and use that, bringing everyone back up to full. Okay, so the disadvantage of using that compared to the Cure spell, obviously, is that the staff won't be restored the next time I sleep at an inn, whereas the spell will be. But nonetheless, it's there's nothing wrong with conserving uses of the Cure spell. Enemies are attacking, as if that wasn't clear. We have a mini-boss here, the Ogre. Well, let's see how difficult this fight's going to be. Let's see, just stick to the Blizzard plan for Melody, and usual stuff from everyone else. Still have 21 uses of the Ninto from Virtue, so no real reason to switch to his other weapons just yet. I do have a variety of weapons on Virtue, but all of them are fairly straightforward. They're all just straight-up damage-dealing weapons. None of them have a stunning effect or anything like that that would motivate me to switch between them strategically. Ooh, okay. Burn Counter, a new spell from Elodie. I wonder if that's going to replace Flame. I wonder if that's something that counters attacks with the power of fire, or if that's just something that heals the burn status effect, because if the latter, I'm significantly less excited about it. Oh dang, that Ogre had a relic. We have a power crystal. That's fantastic news. Though, I suppose it's not directly useful, since I don't think we have a power crystal equipped. It's been a while, so let's remind myself what crystals we actually have equipped. Lightning on Elodie, Speed on Zenith, Defense on Natsmer, and oh, okay, there is a power crystal equipped to Virtue. So that power crystal we just obtained from the Ogre increased his strength, which is now up to 54. Alright, let's go ahead and heal our good friend Natsmer there, and then let's check on what Burn Counter does. Counters an attacking enemy with a high degree burn. Interesting that it has a different icon than the other three. I feel like most of the spells I've seen so far have all had this icon. This one's a little bit different, and like the other counter attacks we've seen, the cross counter and the revenge blade, it targets self and deals some amount of damage in the form of counter X. Yeah, so actually, you know, having Elodie on the top of the party might actually make sense for the first time in my life now that we've got that ability. That's probably going to be more useful to us than the counterattacks I have on my other two characters, just because she's targeted so much more frequently. Alright, so here's the Colonel, our good father here. The new god's minions found our hidden base and launched a surprise attack. The survivors have escaped. Come on, we need to get out of here too. What, so everyone just left except us? Wait, I have something to say to you. Elodie, now isn't the time. Yeah, last night was the time, before we went to bed. Alright, year after year I waited for your return. Mother toiled and faced a lot of hardship while bringing me up all by herself. And what were you doing in the meantime? Betraying Mother. Yeah, that's right, you were raising another kid instead of us. It may seem like I've betrayed your mother and you, but it isn't so. What? Well then. Elodie, so that'll wait till after we escape. If we don't hurry, we'll get overcome by the monsters. Yeah, these guys are right. We have some issues to sort out here. But we have some more pressing issues. This place is swarming with monsters, and there might be another earthquake, so being underground, probably not the wisest place to be. And for the first/second time ever, we have Father in the party. This time without his alternate persona, and this time with much, much better equipment. Wow. We have a mithril sword, a submachine gun, a shock whip, and something called an armor vest, and a cure tome even. That's quite fantastic. Really happy to see him with the whip, though. Very characteristic of the Indiana Jones look-alike here. But yeah, that curing is going to be especially useful. How is his spirit stat, by the way? His spirit is actually really good for a human, 29, so yeah, he's actually going to be able to do quite a lot of healing with that. So, I guess Elodie does take after him in that respect. Alright, anyway, let's go ahead and I wonder if it's worth exploring the rest of this floor before heading upward. I suppose I might as well, though we've already been in all of these rooms, so I'm not sure if there would actually be new treasures now that the monsters have appeared or not. Nope, just looks like a monster hanging out in this room. But I'm going to check the rest of the others just for the sake of being comprehensive, because I don't want to miss anything. I'm not sure if I'll be able to come back here or not once this is all over. Let's see, just a monster in here. So yeah, let's go ahead and fight the next mini-boss to make it up the next set of stairs. Hopefully not going to hit any of these enemies on the way. And yeah, looks like I made it all right. What is this winged monster here? Looks like a chimera or like a manticore of some kind. Yeah, Manticore. I was right on the spot with that one. Alright, so let's see with our 5 characters how we do against this. I'm going to go ahead and queue up the burn counter. That seems like an exciting strategy to me. And then usual stuff from the rest. And let's see, so from Father we have the choice of a Mithril Sword, Submachine Gun, Shock Whip, no use to cure just yet. Since I haven't really used whips, let's go ahead and try this Shock Whip, a whip that electrocutes the target on impact. Let's try that. And he gets to go first, and he manages to stun the Manticore, which I believe means it's going to do nothing. Yeah, it does nothing, so really, really good use of Father's turn there. Having a whip on a high agility character like that, extremely valuable, but it means that I'm not going to get a whole lot of value out of my burn counter if it works. Nonetheless, let's stick to that strategy because I am excited to see that work if it ever does eventually. And this whip is not going to successfully stun the enemy every time. Like that time, for example, it completely failed at stunning the enemy, and I'm terribly disappointed by that. Another max HP increase for Elodie is not disappointing, bringing her up to 246. Natsmer's also going up, also 246 rather. Not a whole lot of Kiro. It's kind of comical at times how little Kiro you actually get from some of these mini bosses. And we get a speed crystal from him. Yeah, I'm liking the rapid flow of relics since we've arrived here on World 5. Let's see, let's remind myself what was in this room here. Probably nothing new. Yeah, just a monster wandering around there. Let's see, I can fight a mini boss and head up. Yeah, I'm not going to bother exploring the rest of the floors anymore. It seems that there's nothing here, so let's just head straight into the next mini boss encounter. This one against a Sorcerer. Magic using opponents in these games, sometimes the scariest opponents. Yeah, let's stick to the burn counter plan. I wonder whether the burn counter... Actually, you know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the opponent's probably going to use status effects on us, so I'm just going to stick to something damage dealing, because I'm not sure if you can counter things that aren't direct damage. Okay, and we got the stun, so he's not going to be doing anything at all, so yeah, for the best that I didn't use a counterattack. I am, however, going to use a thread here, just for dramatic effect. Not sure if it's actually necessary, but I want to see that Mobiushi from Virtue finishing up the fight in one round. Oh no, burn counter's gone. I should have rearranged my inventory because now I have Electroshock instead. So see you later, burn counter. Sorry that I never got to see you in action, but I'm just experiencing a deluge of new Esper abilities after so long of having that same set of 4. Anyway, predictably enough, a defense crystal from that mini boss. And let's see what Electroshock does. This one, not a counterattack. Releases a numbing inner electricity that lowers agility. So seemingly something that doesn't deal damage at all, and it only targets an enemy group. So yeah, something I'm a lot less happy to have than I was the burn counter if this is simply a slow spell. Let's see, we're back up here in the pub, which has also become rather filled with monsters. And actually, let's take a look at the back of this pub. Interestingly, this is the door over here that opened up when we played the jukebox. So if I go around here, I'm behind the counter. And could I not have just gone back this way before? Was there a wall here before? Also, I'm trying to get my bearings. Anyway, no matter. Looks like we might have to fight a monster on our way out. Actually, I'd like to fight a monster on my way out because I'm curious how the inside of the pub looks in battle. And oh, come on! That Enoki thing was obviously behind the wall. There's no way he could have gotten to me. It's not an Enoki, it's a Shiitake. But in any case, we have an abundance of enemies here. It looks like about 12 of them, 13 of them. So let's go ahead and use the Poison Fog, attack as many enemies as we can. Electroshock just targets a group, right? Yeah, so no use in using that. We'll open with a Poison Fog. Let's see, triple lunge here on the apparition. This is a good opportunity to use the submachine guns with both Natsmer and Father. I'll have them target separate groups, and Virtue can attack the mimics back there. And let's roll. Going to be using threads if I have the opportunity to, because this seems like the type of fight I could potentially lose on. These double encounters have not been kind to me in the past, and neither have those apparitions. Those are a very, very challenging opponent, even relative to the other monsters in this world. I feel like I have a pretty good handle on most of the enemies here in this world, but those apparitions are deadly when they're not trying to put Virtue to sleep. But yeah, that Toxic Mist is so strong. Yeah, and when you're not dealing with enemies immune to poison, that is. A little over 2,000 Kiro. Unfortunately, Natsmer couldn't make it to the end of the fight, but that's okay. No one got stat increases anyway. Going to go ahead and heal her. Let's do so with Father because he has 50 uses of his Cure Tome left. And those uses are all going to be going away once he leaves the party anyway. Fairly certain you cannot remove items from guests. Yeah, sure enough, you can't. Otherwise, guests would just be like a free source of items. Not that you would want items from, someone like Lin, but when you have Father coming in here with cure tomes and whatnot, it's a little bit more desirable. So now that we've escaped the Guardian's base, what awaits us next? Find out next time. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you then.